Hey everyone, I am Amanda from Mandy Lynn Plans. Welcome to my channel. Today I am going to try and help you make a decision about which Hobonichi is best for you and your needs. So I have the 3 sizes. This is the A5, the cousin. This is the thinner weeks, and my camera is doing this weird thing where it's adding those lines in with the design. This does not have any lines on it. It's just catching it at a weird angle. And then the A6, the original. These are not all of the planners that Hobonichi has to offer, but these are the 3 sizes. Look for more videos coming soon where I will compare more of the sizes and the more of the things that they offer. For example, they do offer what they call a VEX, and that is 1 year split into 2 books. These, for the sake of comparing, I'm just going to be comparing the full year versions. So starting off with the 2 that are the most similar, the cousin and the original. As I said before, this is an A5 size and this is an A6, which means that this is exactly half of the size of the A5 if you're unfamiliar with paper sizes and how they work. So just by outward appearance, they are very, very similar besides the size. The binding is the same, they look identical. Then on the side here, you can see some little marks. On the cousin, this shows you where the weeks are, and then each of these colors and little tabs, they're not tabs, but they give the appearance of tabs. They help you know where your months are, and then also you have that on the original. So flipping through, you will see very similar things here. They both have year at a glance pages, where on this page is the current year, and then on this side there is the previous year and then the upcoming year to give you a good look at all of the years together. And then you have your yearly index pages. These a lot of people use for several different things. I personally use this for my school schedule and birthdays and anniversaries. So you will see a little bit of a difference here right off the bat. The A6 original has 4 months on a spread, where the cousin has 6. So because of that, there are more pages here. And this one goes into March, where it started in December, where in the cousin it starts in January, goes to June on this page, and then July to December with no extra months. Then after that, it goes directly into the monthly spreads. So both of these start with December of 2019. And I will point out one thing that I absolutely love about Hobonichi here, since it is in this first spread, there is an extra space for whenever a calendar needs 6 rows instead of 5. So there's no combining 2 days in one box like a lot of other planners. I will also note, if you are new to Hobonichi, that both the monthly and weekly calendars are a Monday start, and I love that they are the same. It did take my brain a little bit to get used to the Monday start, but I am used to it now, and I absolutely love having my weekends together. So then you have every single month in between for 2020, and then also through March of 2021. Then after that, this is where we get our big first difference between the A5 cousin and the A6 original. This goes right into the daily pages after this 2-page spread for you to be able to put maybe your New Year's resolutions or kind of a vision board or whatever you want to do with this spread. The cousin does have these pages, but it is later in the book. So let's stop and just take a look at the cousin right now. The cousin offers weekly spreads. The A6 does not. The A6 does have an additional book that you can buy, but for the purpose of this video, we're only taking a look at the books themselves. So as I said before, it is a Monday start. So this starts on December 30th, and you have a full 24 hours. And as I mentioned before, these do have these navy blue tabs on this side. And it goes all the way until January 3rd. So then if we flip, then this is where the daily pages start. So here is your spread that is like this for the A6. And then we get right into the dailies. And so with both of these books, you have a blank page, a mainly blank page. There's not even a grid on this page, and it's a little bit hard to show you on the camera. The grid is picking up from the pages behind it, but this is a blank page with just a little bit of a quote up at the top, and then the daily pages start in. So at first glance, these daily pages look very similar, and they are. They both include the date at the top and the moon phase, but you can see that the cousin includes WED for Wednesday, and the original does not. They do also tell you what day of the year it is, so it is January 1st is the first day of the year of 365. They both have 5 checklists at the top for your priorities, and then along the left side, they both have a timeline for your day. So because of the nature of the cousin being bigger, there is extra space here at the bottom where this one does not have it. The timeline basically takes up the whole page, and then there is a darker line kind of separating out where you can put your appointments and your to-dos. I personally ignore the timeline on my daily pages and just use it as a bullet journal. So just because the timeline and those lines and squares for priorities are there does not mean that you have to necessarily abide by those rules. You will also notice that these Japanese characters are here. I'm assuming that that says something about it being New Year's Day. I do not read Japanese, but you will see those along throughout the book, and I can ignore them. I'm probably just used to them. They might bother you at first. As you use the planner, you will get so used to them and you will be able to ignore them too. So one thing that I absolutely adore about Hobonichi planners is that you get a single page per day. One of the biggest things that I hear complaints about in the planner community is whenever daily planners combine Saturday and Sunday into one page. So they will give you a little bit of space for Saturday and then a little space for Sunday. But Hobonichi gives you a full page for every single day. So you have all 12 months, and you can notice that each month has a different color. That is a subtle difference, and none of them are too bold, but I actually enjoy the change. I know that it bothers some people, and I will go ahead and make a quick note here that there is an English version of this A6, and it does not have the color variation. So if that is something that bothers you, you can look into that. So then after all of the daily pages, you have a few blank grid pages. In the A6 original, there are 14 blank grid pages, and in the cousin, there are only 5. And if you're curious about the reasoning for that, I'm assuming it is because the cousin has weeks, and you need a certain amount of pages for binding and sewing and that type of thing. It has to be equal. And so I'm assuming that that's why the A6 has more. So in the back of both of these planners, you do get a handful of extra pages. To be completely honest, I don't actually use these all that much. I forget that they are back here. A lot of it is in Japanese, and I can't read it anyway, especially these. But they could definitely be useful for you, especially this My 100 list you could use for movies you want to watch, or books you want to read, or your favorite recipes. I mean, there are so many things that you can use these for, but as I said before, I usually just forget that they are even back here. So as I am flipping through, you can see that there is a lot of similarity in these pages with just a couple of differences because the cousin pages are bigger, and so they can fit more on a page. So then we have gifts. Here we go. And then a place for addresses and personal notes. And then we are at the end. And then there is this little seal with a number that is specific for each book. So I also mentioned that I was going to go ahead and tell you some of the common uses for these planners. I personally use the cousin. I love that it has every single spread, everything that I need, and I use this as my everyday carry, and I like to use it by itself. So everything is in this one book. I even actually plan my music. I am a music teacher, and I am able to use that as well. I do not use a page per day in the daily section. I use it as a bullet journal, and that gives me a little bit more flexibility to throw in collections and use the other pages as I need. I know that a lot of people prefer the smaller size for their planning. Also, I know that several people use these for journals. So if they plan in this, they might journal in this, or if they plan in this, they might journal in this. or maybe they will do it for art journaling or memory keeping, or even meal planning and cleaning schedules for their home. Some people have two, and one is a work planner and the other is a personal planner. One of my favorite things about the Hobonichi spreads is how blank it is. There's really no limit to what you can do in these planners. The next thing that we are going to look at is this little weeks, and this is much smaller than the other planners. So I will go ahead and show you here how much thinner this is. So this, a lot of people like for the portability. It is structured very similarly to the other planners. You have the year at a glance, and then you have your yearly index, but it is on one page, and so the columns aren't nearly as wide for you to write on. And then it goes right into the months, just as before. You do get a December, and then it goes all the way to March, just as the other planners did. And then it goes right into the weeklies. Now, the weeklies set up horizontally instead of vertically like in the cousin. And so you have this page for your days, and then this is a blank grid page for you. So this actually starts at the end of November. I will also note that the weeks comes with two different colored bookmarks, and neither the A6 nor the cousin do. And I will also take this time to go ahead and mention that the Hobonichi Weeks has more of a cream colored paper, where the other two have more of a white colored paper. Here you should be able to tell the difference a little bit better. I personally prefer the white paper, but I think the reason that they did this, because of the more portability, I think I read somewhere that the cream colored paper doesn't reflect the sun quite as much. So if you are out and about writing with it, it will not be as bright to look at. So then after the last week here in December, it goes into the blank note pages. So there is a little index page for you to write the page number and the subject matter. One thing that's really nice about these pages is that they are numbered. So in the original weeks, which is what I have, kind of the standard weeks, there are 69 blank pages. And there is an option, the Weeks Mega has 213 blank pages. So if you're wanting several more blank pages in the back, maybe the Mega is the book for you. And then also similar to the other books, there are these pages in the back. I believe they are the same. I have not flipped through them yet. It looks like these are all the same as the ones that are in the other books, with just a couple of modifications to make them fit on the pages. So then the weeks also has its own individual number. And then one other thing that comes with the weeks that the other books does not have is this little pocket that you can add. I added it in the front here. It's just this little clear pocket. You can also put it in the back. So what do people use this cute little book for? I have seen people use it for all kinds of things. Some people can make it work as their everyday carry because of how portable it is. Personally, the pages are too small for me to put all of the things in that I need to. I've seen people use it for meal planning, for fitness tracking, school schedules, memory keeping, you name it, you can make this little book work for you. So I hope this little overview was helpful for you in deciding which Hobonichi is best for you and your needs. Go ahead and put down in the comments which one you think is best for you. If you are wanting more comparison videos, make sure to subscribe so that you do not miss out on those. I will be comparing more books in the coming weeks. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time.